Hello, lovely. I'm going to do this about 15-20 minutes flexibility stretching for your hamstrings. So I'm going to get started. If you have a belt or like a dressing gown rope, just something that you can that's like lengthy enough to be the length of your leg so you can reach sort of thing. Doesn't have to be drastically long, but as long as it's not too short, so you need to be able to reach it. Um, and then something not like a bolster. If you don't have one, that's fine. I think this is going to be too big for me anyway, but it should be okay for what I'm going to show you. But if you've got like something that you can roll up and put underneath your hips, so if you've got a mat, another mat, or something that you can roll up and lengthwise to put at your hips. Obviously, if you want to just skip through to see where it is on this video, you can do, just so you can see what I mean. And if you've got something that you can use like that, if not, it'll still work, but it just helps to delve in a little deeper. Okay, right, we'll get started. So we'll just do a little bit of kind of it's mostly going to be lying on our backs. So we're going to do hamstring sweeps. I haven't got a wall to hand right now, but I'll show you this one, and then if you want to do it at the wall, you could also do it at the wall as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to lie down on our backs, and just to start with, just draw your knees in and just take a little rock side to side, and we'll just ease off into the lower back a little bit as well as the hips, just briefly. So as you're rocking back and forwards, come back to center, and you're going to just squeeze the knees in and release them down. So lifting the hips up as you're squeezing in. And then all the way through this, I'll be doing it with you. So just follow on from what I'm describing. And then do that again. So a little rock side to side. And then center. And then again, squeeze back in. Try and draw your navel back as you're lifting your hips. And then just release. Okay. Taking your left foot staying grounded, right leg's going to lift up, and you're just going to circle the hip as big as you possibly can with the circles, and then just reverse the direction. You can just keep the leg bent as well, and just keep the hands lightly pressed to the floor, and then release the leg, and then switching over. So big circles, trying to keep the other hip grounded so we're not lifting up, just to loosen off into the joint a little bit before we move, and then switch your direction, and then just easing that off. Okay, open out the legs, bring the feet, bats of the feet together, and just going to flap the legs, so like a kind of supine butterfly, but you're keeping the movement, so it's kind of called butterfly, I think it is. Just again, add a little bit more movement and ready for the hips, and then just ease off. Okay, right, lengthen the legs out, give the legs a little shake. Right, okay, this is where if you do have a wall, we're going to build up to it to start with. So if you, obviously I don't have a wall, so I'm just going to show without, and then I'll describe what you would do at the wall when we get there. So left foot is going to be planted, right leg, you're going to lift it up. And throughout all of the hamstring stuff, I want you to try and make sure you're keeping your leg straight. Obviously, you're not going to be locking your knee out completely. You're going to keep a tiny little micro bend, but you don't want to be like bending the knee, which is not to say that you will anyway. So just to start with, we're going to hold on to the back or the sides of the hamstring, and you're just going to go through some nerve flossing. So you're going to flex your knee, so you're going to bend your knee, and you're going to straighten out your leg, and you're going to flex your foot, sorry, not point your foot. So flex your foot back, and then you're going to bend your knee. Just have your foot normal as you bend, and then as you straighten the leg, flex your foot. So the back of the nerves, the back of the leg, from the heel all the way through to the back of the head, you've got a nerve all the way at the back. So it's just that flossing action. Obviously, it's just to the hip for this section. And then just ease that back off and straighten out your leg. And just do a little few pulses back. So you can either point your toes or you can flex. You can go through both as well and just seeing how it feels. and then just ease that off. Then release the hands by the sides. If you can, try and flex your foot. No worries if it feels a bit too much. And you're just going to go into a crossover. So you're going to cross over towards the left, take it out over towards the right. All the while you're trying to keep your hips down. Just doing a couple of those. And then easing it off, just bending that leg up, and we'll just switch sides and then we'll come back. So again, bending up the left leg, straighten the leg out, and then going through your nerve flossing. So bend and straighten. If you want to point the toes as you down, flex as you come up, or just have the foot normal, it's totally up to you. And either holding onto the leg or the sides of the leg. And then from there, having the leg straight, and then a few little pumping actions, or just pumping the leg back, easing that off, taking the leg across, and then out to the side, just going to your maximum. You can also use the other foot grounding to the floor, just to keep you stable, as well as your hips. And then just bringing that back to the center, and then release that down. Okay, so this is where if you've got a wall, you go into it on the wall. So what you would do is you would come right up against the wall, and then the left leg, you'd have to have a space, that's the only thing. So it'd have to be like corner. So you'd have the wall here, and you'd have the left leg against the wall, and you'd have your sit bone right against the wall, and then the right leg will just sweep up and down. You can just do it without as well, so don't worry. So you just have to really keep this leg straight and try and use your core. So we're just going to sweep the right leg up and down. Each time you bring the leg back, try and squeeze it closer. Couple more. And then ease it off and just squeezing these in. Right, if you're doing the wall and you've got availability to turn to do the other side, you'll just do the other side. So the right leg will straighten, you come to the wall if it's available, and then the left leg will sweep down and up. Again, using your core, engaging your core, so drawing the navel down. And it's up to you with your breath. So if you want to breathe out as you come down and in as you come up, or vice versa. If you want to exhale as you come up, you can do that way as well. Couple more. And then easing that off. Well, okay, right. So should feel a little bit looser now. So we'll go on to the next bit. Also, because I'm doing this all in one, if you want to go through this again, if you've got the time, or if you want to skip little bits and you want to just stick with this first section and just do that. If you haven't got time to do the rest, you can just do that. And maybe do the hamstring sweeps, doing them like a few more sets maybe, rather than going into the next bit, which we'll get into now. Okay, right. So what we're going to do now, if you have something that you've got rolled up, pop that. So you don't want to be sitting on it with your bum. You want to have it where your sacrum is. So you've got a bit of anatomy. No, not really, but so you've got your tailbone at the very bottom, and then just a bit above it, not like obviously on the bone bit, a little bit above it, you've got your sacrum. It's kind of like a flat bit of bone, and that's where you want this to be. So you don't want it too high. Obviously, if it's bigger, it will be anyway. But if you've got something smaller, that's where you want it to be. And then bring your strap or belt or dressing gown rope maybe with you. And then just make sure my bun's not in the way, but never mind. Okay, yeah, so sit your hips down. And then you're going to keep your left foot grounded and you're going to lift up your right leg. Then you're going to take the strap around the kind of, not the middle bit of your foot, a little bit higher up. So where the big toe is, the big toe mound underneath it, taking that across your foot there. Right. And then you're just going to start to pump the leg back. And as you're pumping the leg back, you'll notice, because your hips are raised, you should be able to get your leg further back. Okay. Right, what you're going to do from here, you're going to pull in as far as you can. So from there, if you find that your elbows are bent a lot, you can walk your hands up the belt. So walk your hands up the belt so you're closer to your foot. Then what you're going to do from here is you're going to hover this left leg. So engage your core, exhale, and hover up the left leg. See if you can bring the right leg a little closer. And then if you can, try and straighten out the left leg. See if you can bring the right leg closer again. Keep it there. Try not to let the right leg come down as you slowly take the left leg down. Try and keep it there. If you can get it to the floor without bringing the leg away, give it a go. If it moves, don't worry, you should get a deeper stretch anyway. And then bend up the left leg, ease off the right. And then we'll do that again. So again, when you're ready, bring in the leg in and just pausing to where you get to your maximum. From there, you're going to hover up, use your core, the left leg. See if you can bring the right leg closer and see if you can straighten out the left leg. Stay in there with the right leg if you can, and slowly start to bring the left leg down. You might get a stop and that's fine. If you want to maintain that, if you want to try and keep pushing to getting the leg closer to the floor, give it a go. And then bend up and then ease it off. Right, we'll switch sides. So just bringing the left foot in, bringing the right leg down, taking it at the exact same place. And then again, just pull the leg back, maybe just go for a little pumping action to see if you can deepen it a little bit. You might find also as well, one leg might be a lot better than the other, and that's fine. Well, okay, from here, trying to pull the leg in as far as you can. And then again, when you're ready, try and hover up the right leg. See if you can pull the leg closer to you. And then from there, if you can, straighten out the right leg. You can also still bring the right leg down with bent leg as well. And then slowly start to take the right leg down without letting anything change at the left. Getting as far as you can. You can get down, get down. If you can't, don't worry. Take a pause, take a breath. And then bend up. And then ease back up, back to the center. And we'll do that once more. So again, however you want to hold, if you want to wrap round as well, you can do. Pulling the leg back and just taking a pause. Moving this belt out of the way. Pause and take some breaths. Allow the body to just settle into it. And then from there, draw your navel back. Exhale, hover up the right leg. See if you can from there pull the left leg closer. And then starting to straighten out the right leg. And then slowly trying to bring it down towards the ground without letting too much change at the left leg. Taking a pause where you get your maximum. Make sure we're breathing. And then just planting the foot down. Take the belt off the left leg. And then either you can move the bolster or mat, what you've got underneath you, out, or you can come up to a seat to remove it. It's up to you. And then we'll go through another thing. Hopefully this will help the next thing. Again, we're going to still use the belt or strap or whatever you've got. And we're going to do both sides. Right, so coming back down. Also, if you do find you want to still have something underneath your hips, you still can. Okay, right, so bend up the legs again. We're going to bring the belt back around into the right foot, exactly the same place. And then if you want to kind of wrap your hands around, if you can go further up, or if not, you can just hold wherever you want to hold. And then just start to bring the leg closer. As you bring the leg closer, don't let your hip bunch up. So I really want you to make sure that you're lengthening your hips, the right hip. I want you to draw it away. So as you're pulling the leg back, draw the right hip away. So the sit bone, you're going to kind of move it more towards the inside of the left knee. Not obviously actually literally, but that action. And keep the right side really long. You might notice that your leg moves further away from you. So once you've got that lengthened, then focus on pulling the leg back and you'll feel more of a stretch there. And just take a pause for 3 breaths. So breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. One more breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Well, okay. Right. Now what we're going to do, we're going to wrap the belt around the right hand. So you're going to loop it around. You can still keep the left leg bent. Take the left hand down. Pull the leg in as tight as you can towards you. Bend the elbow. And take the right leg out towards the right. Again, just go to your maximum. So we're now stretching the inside of the hip, inside of the hamstring. Just make sure that the left hip is not lifting, so keep it grounded. Again, a few breaths here. And then when you're ready, bring that leg back. Now we'll do the outside. So again, release, wrapping the hands, wrapping the belt around that left hand. Pull the leg back. Take the right thumb and the index finger into the crease of the hip and draw it away. From here, breathe in, breathe out, pull the leg back towards you. Keep the hip long, keep the side long. And then exhale, take the right leg over towards the left. And you shouldn't really need to go that far. We're going to keep that right hip grounded. So I don't want you to lift the right hip off the floor. I want you to keep it down and keep bending into that left elbow. Just take a few breaths here. And then bring that leg back, release the belt, and then release the leg. And anything you want to do, when you want to lengthen out the legs and just notice the difference between each side. From here, we're going to bend the legs back up and do the left side. So taking again the strap around and pulling the leg back. So if you want to again wrap around. If you can't reach to wrap around, don't worry. Keeping the leg nice straight and then pulling the leg back. Once you pull the leg back, if you find that your hips bunching up, again, just try and have the action of drawing the left hip towards the inside of the right leg or the right knee, wherever you are. So you're keeping that hip nice and long. Once you've got that length, see if you can deepen the stretch. You might find you feel it a little bit more to the outside of the leg. Gain a few breaths. Easing that off. Same again, wrapping the belt around the left hand. Breathing in, lengthen the back of the leg. Breathe out, pull the leg back to you. And then take the left leg out towards the left. You can either have a straight arm, but it would mean that it's further away from you. The aim is to try and get the leg up towards the left shoulder. Obviously not on the shoulder, but obviously if you can, go for it. But obviously if you can't, that's just the aim. So I don't want you to actually take it up. Just want you to feel that stretch at the inside of the left leg. Keeping the right hip grounded as well. Use your core, keep breathing. and then bring that leg back. Switching hands, so wrap the belt around the right. And then again, breathing in, breathing out, pull the leg back. And then again, taking that left leg over to the right. Keeping the left hip grounded, keep the left side nice and long. Taking a few breaths here. Doesn't even need to go as far for this one. Left hip stays rooted. And then just ease that off. Bring it back to the center. Take the strap off. Again, anything you want to do movement-wise, you can lengthen away, moving in and out, drawing some circles. Little rock side to side. And that's the sequence all done. So rock to your side, slowly making your way up. So if you, like I say, want to split that into sections and do that first section where I got to, you can do that as a section. If you want to do this one again, and if you want to just stick with this sequence, with the strap, the pulling in, pull the side, you can also do it with your legs straight. So this is just an easier version, what we just did. So if you do want to practice it, rather than having the other leg bent, you can straighten it out, and that will be a little tougher. So if you want to do that instead, so as you watch this back again, and you want to do it with the leg straight instead, that'll be a little bit harder if you want to try that. And if you want to do that again, you can do that again, do that twice through. If you want to hold it longer, hold it longer. There's another little thing when you come to the end of this. Again, I haven't got a wall. I'll quickly see if I can show you. But what you'll do is pretend this is a wall, and you're going to come up to the wall once you've done your little sequence. Take your sit bones all the way up to the wall, and then pretend this is a wall, and you're going to just let your legs drop out. Either flex your feet, or you can point your feet, and if you want to just sit there and lie there, maybe just read your book or play on your phone for a little bit, and just try and pause there for as kind of long as you can hold, or if you even just a couple of minutes, that'll help to open out the hamstrings. So if you wanted to give that a go after you finish this little sequence, you can also give that a go as well. Okay, so that's done for today. Let me know how you get on, and hope you've got some happy hamstrings after this. Okay, see you soon. Bye.